This is Grief and Grit, from heartache to high fives with a dash of sass. The podcast that turns the tables on traditional grief talks with a fresh, sassy spin. Listen in for candid conversations about the messy, awkward, and downright hilarious aspects of dealing with loss. Because sometimes the best way to cope is with a little laughter and a lot of grit.
Hi, Greer.
Hi, Simonie. How's it going?
I know better than you.
Well, yeah, as you heard on the last episode, I sprained my ankle.
Oh, poor thing.
I know. And it's interesting because this was on a Saturday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
It is now Monday, and I've had lots of thoughts and feels based on this experience. Like it's kind of dredged up a lot. So
Okay,
I thought it
so
might be interesting to do an episode kind of on this.
yeah, I would love you to share that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Saturday afternoon, we went to see Dog Man, which is a really cool book series that my 8.5-year-old loves.
Mm-hmm.
And they came out with an animated movie about Dog Man. The premise is actually pretty creepy. It's about a police officer and his dog, and somehow the dog's brain still works and the policeman's body still works.
Oh gosh,
And they sew
put it
Mhm.
together.
And it's
Oh,
Dog Man. Yeah. And Dog
oh,
Man is trying to catch this awful cat, Petey the cat.
oh gosh.
So, yeah, but it was a really good movie. It was funny. And coming out of the movie, so I was there with the kids, Jared's parents, and my dad. And my dad left afterwards because he had plans, and then we were going to go out for dinner afterwards with Jared's parents.
Right.
So we are walking out of the movie theater, and I have no idea what happened. I don't know if I tripped. I don't know if one of my ankles gave out, but all of a sudden I am toppling forward
Oh gosh.
2 steps
Oh.
and I fall, and it hurt a lot. And I have a pretty high pain tolerance. So I ended up just like sitting on the ground for a minute, trying to figure out what was going on. My ankle started swelling immediately, and I started feeling a panic attack coming on.
Mm.
And I think I've mentioned this previously, but whenever something health related happens to me or the
Right.
kids, I freeze.
Right.
I am so terrified because I was with Jared when he
Mm-hmm.
went into cardiac arrest,
Mm.
and it
It just brings up so much. It
it
takes you
does.
back.
It
It takes you back.
paralyzes me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
paralyzes me. So I am trying to stay calm because the kids are
Mm.
with me.
Mm.
Also, Jared's parents are with me.
Right.
And I don't want to freak anyone out. So I get up, I sit in a chair. Thank God I had like a little snack in my bag that was Jack's that he hadn't eaten. So I start eating that. I drank some water. I'm breathing. Answering the kids' questions. I'm talking as I'm kind of working through this
Yeah.
in my own head, and I come out of it. And
Good for
I
you.
that is the first time. I think it was about
Good for
maybe two
you.
to 3 minutes long,
Okay.
and I came out of it. And like I even felt myself getting really hot, and just all the things that come with a panic attack. And I was really proud of myself.
Yeah,
Like
you can be.
I knew that I needed to not freak out the kids,
Right.
especially Jack has super high anxiety. And so I was really proud of myself. And then at that point, my mother-in-law took my car and went and got food for the kids and brought them home and got them ready for bed while my father-in-law took me to urgent care.
Right.
And I told them, like, I can take an Uber. Both of you guys just go be with the kids. And he was very insistent, which I appreciated. I mean,
Yeah.
they
No,
truly
and
treat me like a daughter. Like
yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm a daughter of theirs.
But
And
I'm sure walking into that urgent care or even being in the car on the way to the urgent care
it
conjured up a
It
lot of stuff.
did because on the day that Jared died, Jared's mom was in North Carolina with my newborn nephew and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. And Jared's dad is the one that came to the hospital.
Mm.
And when he got to the hospital, I before he came into the room where Jared's body was, I had to tell my
Mm.
father-in-law that Jared didn't make it. And then after all of that is done and we're leaving the hospital, Jared's dad is the one that took me home. But,
Wow.
we get in the car at the hospital and he's like, "Where do you want to go?" And I just vividly remember thinking, I don't know because Jared was home for me. It's
Yeah.
like I didn't know if I should
Yeah.
go back to the house. I genuinely
Right.
didn't know where to go.
Right.
And so being in the car
Mm.
and having my
Brings up
father-in-law drive,
everything.
it did. And I wanted to talk about this because so many of us, through our experience of loss, there's trauma that comes with it.
Of course.
There's PTSD that
Of
comes with
course.
it. And it's something that we continue having
Mm-hmm.
to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And look, in May, it'll be 4 years. And
Right.
I still had that
Of course.
emotional
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm trying to maintain perspective as I'm hobbling on one
Mm.
foot with the boots,
Oh,
up and down the stairs and can't put weight on it. But I keep telling myself, like, thank God it's a sprain. It's not a fracture. It could be
right.
worse.
Right.
I think I said to you this morning because I didn't tell you about
I
my ankle before you
know.
showed up this
I
morning.
know.
And you saw me, and I told you, I said, in the grand scheme of things, this is like having a splinter
Right.
because Jared died. Like, I've already experienced the
The
worst,
worst.
and this
But
is a
I
bump.
think, yeah, but I think it's, yes, it's just, thank God, not a fracture, but it's the emotional toll that comes with it. And, you had a
Yeah,
panic attack. Things were brought up again that, it happened the day that Jared's passed away.
right.
And so I think that it's not necessarily always the physical, but it's the mental,
It
it's the
is.
emotional. And that's not just a bump in the road.
Right.
That's big.
It's true. And I know that my mother-in-law, when we got home, my mother-in-law said to me, "I want to tell you that Jack told me he is not anxious and he's doing a really good job."
Hmm.
And I was so proud of
Oh, I'm
him.
so proud of him.
And it's so cute because when I finally got upstairs to my room, like they were getting my room all ready. They had lined up all of their loveys on my bed. And like my like
Sweet.
Amelie had gone and I guess she had like done some cleaning or something and cleared off a bunch of space on my nightstand because she knew
Oh,
I was coming in
so
with all sorts of stuff.
sweet.
And I mean they were so sweet and I'm glad that they were kind of channeling this in that way. I kept making sure to text all of our parents, letting them know the updates as soon as there was an update because it wasn't just my own anxiety.
Right.
We've all experienced this trauma from
Exactly.
that morning when Jared suddenly died.
Right.
And I just didn't want anyone to freak out. So
But
that
that shows you that because of the way you reacted, that, our kids take their reactions from
they
us.
do.
So they saw that you were okay, that you
Right.
didn't freak out.
Right.
And so they were like, okay, this is going to be okay.
Right.
It's not going to be the same scenario.
Exactly. I mean, I remember sitting in a chair outside the movie theater and I said to Jack, I said, "Look, I said, I'm okay. I said,
Yeah.
my ankle hurts, but I'm healthy.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
Right.
breathing, I'm talking to you, I'm healthy.
Right.
Because I really did, I was very concerned about his anxiety because he remembers being told Daddy died. So it's something that we never really completely
We
get
don't.
get over.
No.
We just have to
No.
work through it. And my hope is as time continues to move forward, that working through it becomes less and less overwhelming. I actually had an appointment with my psychiatrist before you got here, and I told her what happened. And she also was really proud of me that I was able to work through
Mm,
it because this is not my first panic attack since Jared died.
of
I've
course.
had, I
Oh my
think, two or
gosh.
three others, and they were all based on health
Mm, of course.
triggers. So,
That's the most triggering for you.
right.
That's so
Exactly.
understandable
Yeah.
that that would be.
Yeah. So, yeah, but we leave for Disney a week after I sprained my ankle. And I just keep reminding myself it can always be worse. And I'm really trying to focus on that. Could I break down and be upset because it's going to impact Disney? I could,
But
but
you'll
we still
choose
get to go to Disney. I mean,
exactly.
I have travel insurance. I could cancel the trip if I really needed to,
No.
but then we wouldn't get to go and experience Disney with my niece and my nephew who have
Yeah.
never been before, and
Right.
with my sister and her husband. Like, I
And
still
you're
want
going
to
to have
go.
exactly. And I think that's such an important point is that both can live together.
Right,
Our trauma can live with our joy, our grief can live with our hope. They live together. And I think as you move on and you move forward, you start to look for the bright side.
right,
You start to, and I think the important thing is that we'll never become desensitized
right.
to the
Yeah,
trauma. It's
so true.
all something's always going to trigger it. And I think that's true in any trauma that anybody goes through.
Right.
So there are triggering things to it. But I think that we learn, like you have learned now,
Mm-hmm.
how we react to them. That's the important part. And you
Agreed.
reacted, you literally got up and you walked.
Right. I mean, it's how many times do we fall and then we have to get back up again? And
Correct.
you know what? When you fall, it's okay to stay down for a little while. Sometimes we
100%.
need to
Sometimes we
do
have
that.
to.
Exactly. And we still have to get up again.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I want all of you listeners to acknowledge how hard it is to get up, but we still do it.
We
We
do it.
still
And
do it, and you should be proud of yourself for
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. Every little thing that you do, whether it's just brushing your teeth in the morning, that's getting up and doing something. And yeah, and I'm proud of you,
Well, thank
Greer,
you.
because you did. You worked through it. You saw what was coming. It triggered in you, but you're here,
Yeah,
and that's important. And you let your kids know that you are okay.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
And they'll know to get up when they fall. We all power through in our different ways. And
we do.
yes, yeah.
We do.
So, yeah,
So
hang in there, everybody.
yeah.
It's going to be okay.
And even if it's not,
That's right.
it gets okay. And
Exactly.
there may be days where it's really shitty and it's not okay, and
Mm,
that's okay too.
that's right.
But
Yeah.
so I wish you healing from your ankle.
Thank you.
We look forward to hearing how Disney goes. Use
Yes.
that wheel, the
Yes. The
motorized chairs
cart.
that they
I
have.
know everybody's trying to convince me to do
Yeah,
that. So
we don't have to be martyrs in any of
this
this.
is true. This
Yeah,
is true. I
yeah,
know. We'll see. I'll give an update on how all of this ended up going down after the
yeah,
fact.
yeah.
So
Well, I'm sure it's
thank
going to
you.
be interesting but fun.
Yes.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you, everybody out there
Yeah.
for listening.
Thank you. And hang in there. You've got this.
And
Bye.
we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you love what you heard, please follow Grief and Grit and share our podcast with your friends and family.